Ja? Labi, tad sāksim. Laipni lūdzu Riga Power BI Meetupā, kas ir oficiāla Microsoft Power BI lietotāju grupa Rīgā. Jūs viņu arī atradīsiet, ja aiziesiet uz Power Platform user grupām un atradīsiet katalogā un kartē. Kādreiz tā bija, ilgu laiku bija vienīgā grupa Baltijā, tagad es paskatījos nesen Viļņā arī ir Power user grupa. Un šis ir pirmais meetups tādā režīmā. Es domāju, ka tagad mēs varēsim tikties biežāk, bet šādā te elektroniskā veidā. Un, lai var sekot līdzi Meetup.com vietnē, Riga Power BI grupā, un tur var redzēt kalendāru nākamajos Meetupus un kas būs. Un šajos Meetupos, priekš tiem, kas varbūt pirmoreiz šajos Meetupos, parasti mēs skatām dažādas tēmas par saistību ar Microsoft BI un Microsoft datu analīzes tehnoloģijām. Mums ir bijuši Meetupos gan par stāsti par Exceli, gan par SQL serveri, gan arī par citiem rīkiem un varbūt par citiem rīkiem mazāk. Un es cenšos uzaicināt interesantus stāstītājus, kas var pastāstīt kaut ko, bet bieži vien jāstāsta pašam. Un šodien mēs paskatīsimies par to, kas tad mums ir tā pēdējā laikā parādījies jauns Power BI. Austrija, vai tu vari aiziet uz to iepriekš, tur kāds tajā Teamsā pievienojies, man liekas?
Jā, nočakošu.
Un ir mums visādas izmaiņas un papildinājumi, kas parādījušies pēdējā laikā, un mēs paskatīsimies, kas tad ir no tiem interesantākais, kas man palicis atmiņā un pievērst uzmanību. Pirmais ir stāsts par to, katru februāru mēs gaidām data intelligence, ja business intelligence, šos te maģiskos kvadrantus no Gartnera, kur gribam redzēt, kā tad izvietojas šie tirgus spēlētāji. Un mēs redzam šajā līderu kvadrantā, kur parasti bija klasiski Microsoft Tableau un Click. Ja, tās drusku izretinājās Tableau un Microsoft vairāk izraujās līderos, un ja mēs paskatāmies, kas tad ir tie iemesli, kas ir tās stiprās puses, ko uzskaita pats Gartners par labu Microsoftam, ir, protams, lietas, kas saistītas ar tā saucamo enterprise readiness, jeb dažādas lietas, ko Microsofts ļoti cītīgi darīja pagājušajā gadā, integrējot Power BI ar vien vairāk tajā saucamajā Power Platform. Un, ja jūs meklēsiet kaut kādos avotos, jūs arvien biežāk redzēsiet, ka Power BI nav viens tāds atsevišķi, bet tā ir daļa no tā saucamās Power Platform, un tas vairs nav tikai datu analīzes risinājums, bet to Microsoft pozicionē kā business application risinājumu. Ja, tad mēs arvien vairāk dzirdēsim par šo business application. Un no business application viedokļa tās priekšrocības ir tādas, ka Power BI, protams, ir enterprise gatavs, jeb respektīvi piemērots tādai plašākai lietošanai uzņēmumos, organizācijās, nodrošina atbilstošu drošību, lietotāju pārvaldību un daudz ko citu. Ja mēs paskatāmies uz tādām tendencēm, un zīmīgi ir tas, ka tieši sākot no aprīļa sākās tāds jaunais Wave 1, tā saucamais piegādes vilnis Power BI, kur nāks klajā kaut kādas jaunas funkcijas, kā arī parādīsies iepriekš funkcijām, kas bija preview režīmā, parādīsies šīs te general availability, ka viņas tiks ieviestas. Bet pats interesantākais notika pirms 2 nedēļām vai 3, ka Microsoftā bija šis te Business Application Summits, no kur arī pieejama tāda ļoti interesanta video prezentācija. Kā mēs zinām, tagad visas konferences notiek elektroniski, un Microsoft arī šis te ir Power Platform online konference, kur arī pagājušajā mēnesī notika, un kur ir pieejams 9 stundu video no šīs te konferences. Tā man kaut kas tur čatā rakstā.
Čatā Austris raksta, lai cilvēki jautā čatā.
Jā, ja čatā droši rakstiet, Austris nočekos, un tad viņš man piemiegs ar aci. Un, jā, un tad nolasīsim jautājumus. Un tad interesantā lieta, kas pamainījās tādā tur stāstījumā, ja pozicionējumā tieši pavisam nesen, tas ir šogad, tas ir tas, ka Microsoft saka, ka BI, jeb šiem te datu analīzes rīkiem, viņiem jākļūst no reaktīviem par proaktīviem. Ko tas nozīmē? Reaktīvā analītika ir tad, kad mēs vācam datus, viņus tur savācās sistēmās, klienti izdara kaut kādus pieteikumus, forma, jeb kā Microsoft saka, no formas, tas aiziet uz datubāzi un tad uz atskaiti. Mēs atveram atskaiti, mēs skatāmies tajā atskaitē kaut ko, un tad mēs reaģējam, mēs domājam, kaut kādus lēmumus pieņemam. Proaktīvā atskaita ir tā, ka izmantojot gan datu analīzes, gan šīs te mašīnu mācīšanās, jeb kā Microsoft parasti to saka AI, mākslīgā intelekta iespējas, jā, tad mēs nevis gaidām un skatāmies atskaitēs, bet sistēma jau pati var pateikt, kuram klientam vajag zvanīt, ko vajag piedāvāt, piemēram, ja tas ir tur ražošana vai servis, kuram klientam mēs piezvanām un, piemēram, piedāvājam remonta pakalpojumus, ja, un tas notiek tieši laikā. Ja, un tas ir tas, ko gan sagaida klienti, gan arī tas, kā tai analītikai būtu jāmainās. Un šeit ir tādi 12 kvadrātiņi, ja, 12 lietas, kuras mēs varētu iezīmēt, kā tādas īpašas lietas, kas mums vai nu tikko parādījās, vai nu tūlīt parādīsies. Pirmais ir decomposition tree with direct query. Ja, tas ir viens no AI, teiksim, mākslīgā intelekta vizuāliem Power BI. Mēs viņu šodien skatīsimies, es parādīšu, kā tas strādā, kā viņu lietot. Viņš jau ir pieejams General Availability Power BI desktopā. Bet viņš bija pieejams tikai priekš ielādētiem datiem, priekš importētiem datiem, ko mēs redzam, priekš direct query arī būs pieejams. Tas, kas nāks klāt otrai funkcionalitātei, kas AI funkcionalitātei, tas ir Q&A, ja, un mēs jau tagad zinām Q&A, kā tas strādā, viņš bija stipri uzlabots pagājušajā gadā, bet tas, kas nāks klāt, ir tas, ka mēs varēsim dažādos datasetos, lielākā, plašākā dataseto lokā izmantot to Q&A, plus, piemēram, izmantot sinonīmus un vairāk personalizēt šo Q&A. Ja, kur mēs vienkārši parastā angļu valodā varam uzdot jautājumu par datiem. Mums nav jāzina, kur mums ielikt, ko mums ielikt kolonnās, ko mums ielikt rindās. Mēs vienkārši sakam, tur parādi man, kas notiek ar klientiem, parādi man, kas notiek pagājušajā gadā, aizvakar un tā tālāk. Personalizēti vizuāļi, PowerPoint pieejam, mēs arī paskatīsimies šodien, kā izskatās šis jau kādu laiku, bet patiesībā jaunais look and feel, jeb izskats Power BI desktopā un arī servisā. Un Microsoft Microsoft saka, ka Power BI būs tā kā PowerPoints tikai priekš datu analīzes, tikpat vienkārši lietošanā. Super liela un super svarīga funkcija būs Application Lifecycle Management. Ir jau parādījušies tādi dažādi video ar to preview, kā tas izskatīsies. Mums sola to aprīlī, maijā. Un kas būs tajā Lifecycle Managementā? Lifecycle Managements ir, iedomājieties, jūs šobrīd taisat Power BI desktopā failus, tad jūs publicējat workplace'os savas atskaites, tad varbūt jūs publicējat, tad, lai parādītu kādam pārbaudīt, tad kāds pārbauda, tad jūs publicējat produkcijā un tā tālāk. Lifecycle Management palīdz to visu nodrošināt tādā ļoti caurspīdīgā un, teiksim, pareizā veidā, kā mēs izstrādājam atskaites, kā mēs publicējam, kā mēs testējam un kā mēs novedam viņus līdz produkcijai. Tad būs atsevišķs rīks, kas ļauj to soli pa solim pareizi darīt, arī glabāt Power BI desktop failus un visu pārējo. Jau ir pieejams Shared and Certified Datasets. Tas ir tas, ka mēs varam atzīmēt, kuri no mūsu datasetiem, datiem mūsu organizācijā ir tā kā certificēti, kurus var lietot. Ir stipri uzlabots datu modelis. Ja, jūs jau noteikti redzējāt, ka mēs varam taisīt dažādus skatus, kas atvieglo darbu ar datu modeli, bet tiks arī ievies šis te XMLA semantiskais modeļa apraksts, kas ļaus viņu importēt un eksportēt. Kas vēl, vēl vairākas lietas. Noteikti par tām var taisīt atsevišķus meetupus, un pēdējās divas, varbūt svarīgākas. Mēs paskatīsimies šodien, kā var izmantot un kā var pieslēgt Power Apps Power BI, bet nākamais, ko mēs sagaidām jau pavisam drīz, ka parādīsies arī Power Automate, tas, kas vēl pagājušajā gada oktobrī saucās par Microsoft Flow. Respektīvi, šīs te darba plūsmu, darba biznesa procesa automatizācija, tā parādīsies arī Power BI iekšpusē. Un tas būs vēl viens solis, lai Power platforma būtu savstarpēji integrēta. Un pēdējais ir Power BI integrācija ar Teams, jā, ar vien ciešāk, un tas parādās. Un mēs varam pievienot Teams Power BI atskaites, viņas ir tādas pašas kā servisā interaktīvas. Var lietot. Tā kā ļoti daudz uzsvara ir uz šo te proaktīvo analītiku, ļoti daudz uzsvara uz enterprise readiness, uz to, ka organizācija, kas grib nopietni lietot BI, ja, var šajā produktā visu atrast. Nu, protams, mums kā datu analītiķiem un datu entuziastiem un mūs vairāk interesē tādas funkcijas, kas ļautu mums praktiski daudz ko izdarīt un vizualizēt varbūt mazākā mērogā. Un tāpēc es atlasīju tādas parocīgākas funkcijas, bet kuras varbūt grūtāk pamanīt, ja varbūt neizlasam visus materiālus vai arī nepaskatās visus video. Un šeit ir tas saraksts ar to, ko mēs paskatīsimies. Tātad mēs paskatīsimies, kā izskatās Power BI Home servisā, kā izskatās Power BI Desktop jaunais izskats, jaunā filtru pieredze. Svarīgi, tāpēc, ka tieši aprīlī mainās filtri, ja, un tūlīt visām atskaitēm, visiem reportiem, kas jums bija, filtri tiks nomainīti. Un filtri pats būtiskākais ir tas, ka pats izskats mainās un kā lietotājs lieto, tāpēc to parādīšu. Plus arī visi filtri salikti vienā filtru blokā. Theme editings, kāda tur ir funkcionalitāte, ir ieviest custom data formatting, arī paskatīsies nedaudz par modeli. Super jauna funkcija, super svarīga. Ja?
Mums ir angliskais runātājs pievienojies. Jāpārslēdzas, laikam būs uz angļu valodu.
Okay, I will switch to English. Hope it will be enough attractive or on the same level.
Welcome, Said. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's continue. And one of the really incredible functions.
Thank you very much.
Sorry?
Thank you for switching to English.
You're welcome. And one of the really great functions, function is incremental refresh. Previously, it was available only for Power BI Premium, but now it's for Pro version. And it allows you to load data incrementally. So if you have a large data sets, you don't need to reload them fully. So you could set the parameters and load the portions of the data. It's very handy. Hierarchical slicers, it's a nice visual feature. Table sorting and some table function for formatting, conditional formatting functions. We will look at Power Apps inside the Power BI, decomposition tree, page navigation, and slicer grouping. So these functions we will try to, I think we will cover it in some 30-40 minutes. So 10 before 7 we will be finished. Okay, let's start. And again, if you have any questions, please write them in chat, and we will. Someone connected to Teams meeting again, and we will try to answer. Okay, and first, if you look at the Power BI Home, it's a service, it's a portal functionality. I will not an open portal, not switch over the portal, but if we look at the portal functionality, what we get, mainly we get a very nice landing page. And the first page for all the Power BI reports and dashboards, and we see that actually first page of Power BI became really as a dashboard itself. So we see that some pinned elements from the dashboards. We have favorites and frequently used reports and dashboards, some recent used applications, recent use reports, and even some training materials or additional videos that we could use and add in this dashboard. And the idea that it is central place when you come, and it's again one additional layer of how to organizing data in your BI environment, especially in a larger organization when you have hundreds of reports and hundreds of dashboards and tens of applications. So for individual user, you need some place where they see some recent, most common favorite things that they could easily and fastly access them. So, and that is very new, quite new experience. If we look at Power BI and this new look and feel, and we see that it looks more like all the other Microsoft Office applications. If you updated them like months or so ago, you see the new style for icons. So for example, if you click the Get Data, you see the different, that it looks differently. And if previously, it's not just visual change, because if previously it was more like static. The Power BI ribbon was quite static. Now it's quite dynamic. For example, under insert, you see that new chart, text box, buttons, it's everything grouped, and we see these additional AI visuals. And if you add some visual here, and then you see that according context, we have the format and drill data and drill tabs appears. So it's really changed it very like other Office applications. So, and we also could add different language or dark theme or dark theme for that. So let's switch back. And if we look at that, and of course from in this new look and feel experience for Power BI Desktop and service, the filter experience is changed, and we see that filters are now like more from look and feel, more like part of the report. And we have, if we put some data here, we see that in this report, we automatically in the filter on visual level is here. Also here is a page filter, page level filters, and report level filters. It needs report for all the pages, and this filter experience is very nicely done. So we have a couple of functions, like here we could lock it, that users can't remove it or move it. We could hide it. So it will not be visible when you publish this report. Or here is a global search for all the reports. You could search like for country. So you could have a large list of different filters, and it's quite nicely organized now. And even more, you could rename these filters now. For example, country, you could just double click and say the country filter, for example. On the filter pane, it will be like country filter, but it not changing in the model. You see that the country is not changed here. So it's very nicely done. This filter experience really good. So, and it's easier to use as previously, and you could hide it easily and get space and then use for filtering. Or if you hide it and publish, it will not be visible for users. And next is a theme editing. And last year we get in Power BI this we get these different themes we could use, and we could add we could add the styling and more report level styling. And now recently we get this customized current theme functionality, and we have a nice GUI for formatting. So we could select the colors using hex code or RGB codes. That's very nice. So it's not let's say super advanced, because for advanced scenario you use this theme file and modify it, but it requires quite massive work, because there's a lot of options, and it's in JSON format, so you need to find the right options and change and put the right part figures and values. Here we see that it's nicely done, and actually we have all the main styling options. We could change the header, backgrounds, or transparency, and it will be applied to all elements in your report. Filter page, also we could format, for example, filter pane. Let's put a darker color, so you have it already. So it's nice functionality. It's maybe currently shows us not much options, not very huge amount of options, but it shows us directions that we will have this GUI for names and colors and formatting on the report level. Very nice. Custom data formatting, very small, but probably missed function, so it's could be very handy. So imagine that there is some numbers we want to format, for example, for profit, that we want to put some formatting for numbers. And we have, of course, some standard formatting. And here you see that there is formatting with parentheses for negative values. And if you want to format it, there is now a nice option for custom formatting. So you open a model view, and as you see, there's this option to do additional provide additional parameters for the model. And when you click the needed value, you needed field here on the format, you could choose some standard format, or you could choose a custom. And for custom, you could provide format. So there is a different formats, and you could provide your custom format here, and then you edit it and go back here to report view and click on the field. You also will see on the column tools, you will see this format as a new format for your value. So, any questions? Full question. Haha. Haha. Sticker. How we deliver the sticker, Austris. Yeah.
We'll omnivate it over.
Okay, and continue with incremental refresh. I will just show how this incremental refresh look like. So to create the incremental refresh, you could find it, for example, when you come here to find over this table, financials, and click right button, you see that there is an additional option, incremental refresh. So you could set up this incremental refresh for this table, providing the how amount of rows you want to store and amount of rows you want to refresh, and providing it in days or weeks or months. But to do a configuration, you need to create two parameters. And you go here for parameter page. And as you know, you could provide standard parameters that you could use in loading functions, or you could use it overall in Power BI. And there's two reserved names for what's range start and range end. And you could provide this range it could be a number or a date. Usually it's a date because you will do a filtering by date. And it could be a list of value or some exact date. And these are parameters you use for this data refresh. And then on data refresh configuring, now we can't finish it till end, but you do just enable this incremental refresh after publishing, and here you provide the number of days you want to. Like if you provide 5 days, it means that you will refresh last 5 days or last day or last 3 days. And that is especially for larger data sets, it's incredible function, and now it's available for Power BI Pro version, not just premium. Hierarchy slicers, very useful function. You know that slicer functionality, and if we put the slicer here, and if we put product here, for example, we have product slicer, and we want to have some hierarchy. It was not possible previously, but now we could add a country, and you see that we have the chevrons here, and now we could create the hierarchical slicer. We could even add one more level here. So we will see that this works on 3 levels. And if we put some, let's put some data. And I will put some data here. So we have questions, right?
We have two. Do you want to, are you reading them?
I'm reading.
People are
about incremental refresh. Yeah, it's appends. Let's say it appends data, but if you're refreshing, your refreshing part could overlap sometimes with your existing data, then it will overwrite like some part. Yeah, but it's mainly appends data to your data set, and it could work also on CSV files. Yes. So how the hierarchical slicer works? Then we see that we could click here, small business, for example, for Amarillo, Canada, and we have selection, or we could select some Canada fully, or we could select from different parts by holding control. I could select. Yep, it's not selecting. Wait. Yeah, by holding control, we could select different parts of the slicer, and that is how this hierarchical slicer works. There is another option. We could switch it in the formatting for selection controls. We could put it in radio button view, so we could provide functionalities that that user could select only one level, one value from this slicer. So that is, for example, for a product. This is really nice when you need select on the from hierarchy. Previously, you probably build several slicers and then try to select them in right sequence. So now it's possible to use this hierarchical slicer. Very nice. Table sort and URL, probably, yeah, again, fantastic function. Let's look at it. And let's build a table. I will use a date, country, product, sales. So we have this table, and first is if we want to put some link here, for example, for this country field in table, I have URL, and I want to put it here, and on clicking, the browser is opening, and something on browser probably we see something in browser. How to do that? And here is option now. So we choose, and on that field list, we choose a needed field, in this case, country. And as you previously used probably a lot, conditional formatting. Here is 4 options now. So you could choose a bright background color. You could do a font color formatting, icons, and now web URL. And if you choose web URL, it just asks, there's different options, but it's mainly asked to provide the URL field. Here we have this is URL field. We say no aggregation needed in this case. And you see that link appears. On hover, it shows the link. And if we click on the link, it will open it in web. So that is very nice function. So you could provide this external links. Again, we are talking again, we see that these analytical applications, and not just from Power BI, not just from Microsoft, but I could say that mostly all the analytical tools are trying to become more like applications, that you could interact with them, open web and open other applications from reports. So again, remember about proactive analytics. So we are living in an era when the reactive analytics will be replaced by this proactive analytics. And one more thing we could do in the table, it's multi-column sorting. So if we want to sort by profit, we are clicking, and you see that the sorting order here. By holding Alt field, you could do a sorting for another column. So yeah, it's not working super fast for me. Yeah. And you could choose multiple columns for sorting. So that is how you could create, again, more complicated views. So to sort it by multiple columns. Yes. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Something. Who get? So next thing is Power Apps. Power Apps, and let's delete it. And there is a new functionality. If you look here at the visuals, in standard, you will have the Power Apps. So here is another question.
No.
Okay, in point. So you see here is a Power Apps application, and if you click here, you will have this this visual. What is Power Apps? Power Apps is part of the Microsoft Power Platform. It's a functionality or product that allows you to build web applications, low-code web applications. It means that you could just Microsoft named them Excel on steroids. And imagine you use Excel building some application like things that you are building lists, or maybe something very close to some applications. So next level that you could build it multi-user web style applications using these Power Apps. And here we can insert Power App application in Power BI. So first, let's build some report. No. And I build application. Let's we have here fields. Imagine that the idea we have fields, and for example, I build it using Excel file. So yeah, I put the Excel file. I put the Excel file I put an Excel file with data structure like from table 1. I put it on OneDrive for Business, and then I loaded this OneDrive data in Power BI, so it could be published and refresh it also in Power BI service. And I also built a simple application on top of this file, so you could use this file to build a Power Apps application. And now, I will add this Power Apps application. Yep. And we will add the linking field. In this case, country. I will choose, and we could create new application from scratch here. So we could just click, and this link will be created automatically with this report. Or we could choose some applications. Like here, I have some sample applications. Like this one, I created Power BI loop application. I'm adding it. And we will see how it looks like. Mainly, it's a web application, And you could build a lot of different functionality here. This is like standard, and we see that here is a refresh, sort. If we click add, it allows us to add new country, profit, sales. And it looks like real application. If we click on Canada, it shows me like view page. I could click edit, and it could allow us edit, enter values. But imagine that you could create pictures, like you could grab a picture from camera, or you could create different functionalities, buttons, many controls, and everything that you can imagine with applications. But let's see how this loop works with this Power Apps application. Imagine that in France, we open France, and we will provide the 25 employees we have in France. And in total, we see that here are 100 employees overall. So I just click here, click OK, go back. I see it. I've worked with Power Apps application. And now here is auto refresh too, but I will refresh it manually. So we could get this auto refresh functionality, but let's do it manually. And we see that this employee field updates, and we have 125 employees. And if we look these employees by country, let's have a list. Yeah, again, we see here countries and employees. And then let's try add another country, Latvia, with 500 employees. Yeah, and we enter this data. And we have in application, we have a new country. So this application also could be used by other users. And if you again click refresh, we see that should new country appear here with employees, Latvia with 100, 500. And that is how the idea of the Power Apps, that we could get a write back functionality. So we could interact, so we can do something on our report or use the report data and have write back functionality. So enter data. This is simple application, but you could create a budgeting application and use it for budgeting, entering budget data, and see the actuals versus budgets in one report. And also this application could be used externally and provide data for your Power BI report. So this link with Power Apps looks like these reports available for people who are working in frontline using different applications, and vice versa. And imagine that, as I mentioned, at the next step in April or May, we will have this Power Automate functionality, that here will be this automation flows. So we could automate some business processes based on data. Decomposition tree. So I will open the new. And decomposition tree is one of 3 currently available AI functionalities in Power BI. You could see here on the visualization pane, we have key influencers launched last year, decomposition tree look right now, and Q&A, enhanced Q&A. As you remember, it will be enhanced even more during upcoming months. So what is this decomposition tree? And the composition tree actually gives us the idea how we could explain some value. And here we could say, let's analyze profit. So we want to explain profit and see the total profit actually, and we see visually that it is 4 million something. And then we provide the fields by what we want to explain, by country, and it could be categorical or numerical values. So by segment, by units sold, by gross sales, by discounts, and we could change them in order. So, and how it works. So we think that these parameters actually explains profit. And we start by clicking this plus sign, and what options we have? We have the options that we could say explain sales, this profit by sales, or country, or discounts, or gross profit, or AI function is this with this bulb icon. So we could say that show me the highest value. And I click on the highest value, and it calculates, and it says the segment, and we see that on the near the name of the parameter, we see the bulb function. That means that AI work it here, and we see that government actually the government generates the highest profit. Let's ask again. We said the highest. What is the highest in government? And now it's calculated and says that actually France, we see that actually France is very close to Mexico. And we could say, okay, Germany, and let's say, what is a lowest value for Germany? And we see again here, so lowest value, we could size it. And we see that lowest value for is actually discounted because of discounts. Okay, let's remove it back and take France and say what is highest for France. And again, it's explained by discount at the end. Okay, let's get back to profit and say lowest value. And let's take enterprise. And already we have discounts, and that is how we could use this this functionality and this explanation tree. I think it's a quite amazing function, and it works together with other visuals, so it's interactive. We could use it with filters. For example, let's add a country slicer, and it works with the slicer, so we could get this very interactive, and format. It's easily to format colors, like let's for example format colors. We have a questions? Data bars for positive, let's put for example green, and for negative, let's put.
We have a question on this. Can we build reporting trees using key influenciers visual, like graphs?
Can we reporting trees using key influential visual? What do you mean by like graphs? Not really, not yet. You could build graphs by other functionality. If you want to build graph, here is a network and network analysis visuals that help you build the graphs. Here is yeah, for organization reporting hierarchy, you have even visuals that provide there are special visuals for organization hierarchy, org chart, I think. If you look at the custom visuals, you will get, here is an organizational chart visual that you could use for organizational chart. Or you could, there's social network chart, very nice, like this. So there is a special visuals for graphs. See not if you don't have this decomposition tree, so it's in your current Power BI version, but you probably need to switch it on. So you need to go to files and options and settings, and switch it on in preview functions. It's still in my version in preview. So here in preview, you will have this decomposition tree visual. It's it's in preview features, but it's actually released already. So you could click here and it will be available, visible. So it's I think it's appeared first time in November, but now it's enhanced with additional functionality. So get it from the options. So a last thing I wanted to show you today is a navigation and slicer grouping. Again, more and more we are talking that we want that our reports are looking like applications. And in one of the previous meetups, we talked about this app styles or templates that you could build, even look and feel like the reports could look like applications. And let's look at this grouping functionality. So I will create a very simple visualization. Imagine that we have some report. Again, one thing that is very handy, you see these red lines for alignment, like in PowerPoint. We'll create like in PowerPoint, and it helps us to create easily different kind of reports. Like here, again, I create and I could easily position. So it's much better than this grid lines that we could add. Imagine we have this simple report. Maybe we could add some background shape, this rectangle, and put it here, and bring it back. So we have something that looks not very typical for Power BI report, that looks like more application. And sometimes when you have a full of objects in your page and you want some application like functionality, and imagine that you have the full report of something and you want just by clicking some arrow, you want that filters appear and then they disappear. And let's create something like that. And how we can do that, we will create again this shape. It will be our filter shape. We will put it for example here on top a little bit. And now we will choose a segment. We will create a segment slicer, and that will be our part of our we could create it transparent and so on, but we'll not do that right now. And let's add, let it be a discount as a slicer. It will be like this. And again, we put it here. Very nice. And let's add a button. We could add a button functionality, arrow, left arrow. It will be for minimizing this. And we have that kind of slicer, that kind of element of our report. And we could enable, we could do it with bookmarks, or we could use it with elements. And when we click in this selection, we see all the elements, and we see that we could add it, view it, or not viewing it. And now what we can do it, we could select several of select several elements. and create a group. Okay. Why it's not working for me? Okay, by holding control, I'm selected these 4 elements. You see them selected, and then right click and group. And now it's as a one group, and I could hide them all together and show them all together, and hide and show. And now I'm showing them, and I will create a simple bookmark. So here's a Viz menu. I create bookmark. Let's call menu on slicer. And without slicer. Okay. And now what we need is actually we are sorry. What we need, we will create a selection. Take this group. Let's show it on for this button. For this button under actions, we select actions. So, and we have more actions here. We could say that back call bookmark, and there is a page navigation. So new function, we could, if we say page navigation, we could choose one of our pages. But in this case, we will choose a bookmark and say no slicer. And we'll close it. And let's click on it. So it's slicer, and we'll insert simple button like let's use help, or we could use different button. Let's place it here, or it could be some picture. So we again click actions, bookmarks, slicer on, and now our functionality is ready. So we click on this button, and we have these slicers. We click needed slicers, select needed values, and hide it. So it works like applications. And so for this functionality, we have now we have a new action. It's page number. Yeah. Actually, that's it. What I wanted to briefly show you today. Any questions, comments so far?
Ivars has a comment.
Ivars, grouping visuals, nice one. Yeah, really good. You need to disable data in bookmarks for this to work properly. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Otherwise, you will, yeah, it will force you to problems. Yeah, that's not of course, it's not all the new things released this year. There are a lot of couple of new DAX functions. There are a lot of visuals, custom visuals from different non-Microsoft suppliers. And that is why I wanted to try for this for our first remote meetup. Next meetup already scheduled. We will cover one of the Power Automate new functions. It's RPA functionality, UI flow. And we will look how to automate different business processes using RPA type of functionality. And yeah, and then see you on the next meetups. Thank you for coming. If if you are ready, or if you want to participate or come and tell something and present something, so write me to my email or to Meetup group, to message directly to me. Have a happy Easter, nice Easter, and see you on the next Meetup.